And here we are on another solar install. There's our Leo there, handsome devil. He's just helping this driver here bring the gear in. 45-foot truck, navigating his way through this tight cul-de-sac. Will he make it? Won't he make it? Here we go. Oh, he's going to have to reverse. The customer's heart's in his mouth, as is mine. Please watch the customer's brand new car, mate, will ya? Hey, it's a good job they brought this massive truck to fit all our gear in, or I don't know how. Okay, good morning and welcome back to another Alps Electrical installation video. We've got a brilliant project on our hands here in Stockton-on-Tees, and I have to say we come fresh from the North East Renewable Energy Awards. We were there last night and we are absolutely thrilled to have picked up an award for the Solar Installer of the Year in the North East. We picked up a commended award, which is just fantastic. It's the first time we've entered one of these awards, and we've come away with something like that, so it's absolutely brilliant. So we're here today to install 22 Jinko Tiger Neo all black solar panels on this perfect south-facing roof behind us. Look at it, it's just crying out for solar panels. Scaffolders are busy putting the scaffold up, and me and Leo are here today to just make a start on the DC cable run, because it's quite a long run. We're putting in 6mm cable today, and we're going to start on the conduit side of things and get that dressed back to where the inverter is going to be sited, which is going to be in the garage. We're going to get on with that today, and then we're coming back here in a few days with the team to install all the panels on the roof. So obviously that's the roof we're installing the panels on. If you follow me down here, we've obviously got to get the DC cables from the roof up there all the way back to the garage. It's just quite a big house, so it's quite a big run, quite a long run. So the loft is up there. We were contemplating coming out on this side up near the satellite dish and bringing the cables down, the DC cables, in some conduit, and then possibly along at low level all the way around here, and then the garage. This is the garage in here. But when we've looked at it, we actually thought there's another solution, because the loft actually extends through here. So we're going to come out of this gable end on top of this section and bring our conduit down here next to this drain pipe, and then down and round, and then into the garage. And once we're in here, we can dress the cables around the garage, all the way around. And this is all getting moved, so we're going to put the inverter and batteries over here. I've already put this board in, actually, because we put a Zappi in for this customer a few weeks ago. So I put this board in, and obviously put a larger board in to give them spare ways for the future, and obviously leaving us some for what we need as well. So that's it. Me and Leo are going to start the conduit now. We've just took delivery of the Fox inverter and batteries, and it was another heart in mouth moment. We had a 45-foot truck, and it was quite comical because the only thing that was in it was our little delivery there. But the driver, they are, like I said before, they are the best drivers in the world. This guy was 65-year-old, and he said he's been doing it since he was 18. And honestly, the way he drove in here made it look very easy. So we're going to get on with the conduit, and we'll check back later. quick update, we've managed to get the cables, the DC cables now from the loft all the way down. We've ran them down the wall in conduit, along the bottom of the wall, into the garage, up in some mini trunking, and then we've ran them in some flexible conduit all the way around the top of the garage wall. Leo is absolutely sweating because he's just been in that loft there, poor bugger, for about half an hour while we try to get them cables in through that soffit. He had to climb right into the very end of the soffit, but it's nothing I haven't done for years, so yeah, grow hairs on his chest, poor bugger. So it is very, very warm today. It's about 24 degrees, so in the loft it must be 30, 40 degrees, but he is always harping on about how cold it is here, so you can't have it both ways, can you? Anyway, the scaffolders, as you can see, are pretty much finished here. So when we come back on Tuesday with the team, we'll be able to get all the panels on and the inverter and batteries and everything like that. But for now, it's Friday afternoon, it's about 2 o'clock. I think it's time for an early flyer and a swift pint. So catch us next time when we install the panels and get everything else done and commissioned. So fast forward 3 days, we've had a lovely weekend. The weather's been absolutely beautiful. It was forecast to rain today. By now, actually, it should be absolutely bucketing down according to the forecast. But fingers crossed, at the moment, it doesn't look like it's going to rain. So all the lads are here. We've got the full team out today. Luke and Chris are just in the garage behind me. They're making a start on the inverter and batteries. And then we've got Chris, Dan and Leo. They're at the back. Getting on with the rails and panels. The rails are going on nicely, the hooks are going in well. So just to let you know what we're installing here, we're installing a Fox hybrid 8 kilowatt inverter along with the 22 430 watt Jinko panels. And also we're going to put in the Fox Cube stackable battery module system, which I just think is absolutely fantastic. I really do. I think not only does it look amazing, but it's just so practical. You can stack them in small increments and literally they just sit on top of each other. So it's a very practical solution, a very sturdy battery, and we think it's excellent. It's kind of our go-to at the moment. Like I say, we install all the different brands. Customers sometimes have their own preferences, which we're happy to look at and happy to install. But if I was installing solar on my home today, it would be the Fox with the Fox Cube, 100%. So yeah, so Luke and Chris are on with installing that hybrid inverter and the Fox Cube battery system now. They're going to do all the AC side in the garage while the lads carry on at the back. Let's go and see how they're getting on. So I thought I'd just quickly go through what rail system we use for our solar installs, as well as showing customers how it actually gets installed on the roof, because a lot of customers aren't quite sure how we fit these rails. So firstly, these are the brackets. These are the fastened sole brackets. And the thing I like about these is there's quite a lot of movement, a lot of flexibility with them. Obviously you can raise this up and down depending on how high your tile sits, and then you've also got this as well, which means we can raise the rail up and down, so that you know, sometimes with some roofs you get a bit of a bow. So with this flexibility here, we can straighten that out so the panels sit perfectly level. And also what I like about the fastened sole is you can also change where your bracket sits. So these screw into your truss, and this is your tile sits over the top here. So you screw your bracket down to the truss like that. So you've got 5 different choices there where you could screw your bracket into the truss. For example, the truss sits here, but you want this part of your bracket further over, you would simply move that into one of the further slots there, one of the end slots. And then obviously you just tighten that. Once you've got that in place, you tighten that, and then your rail sits on here. I maybe could have got a smaller piece of rail for this example, but never mind. So this is the only tricky bit, this little piece here. You have to get that in there, and that screws in like that. So as you can see, look, you've got play in that bracket there, so you can put this as high as you want. You could bring it right down there then it would sit higher on your roof. So that's that. And once that's in place, like so, then your solar panels, they clamp to here onto this part of the rail. And to do that, you need what we call the universal clamps. So they go in there like this, and then you screw this black piece, and that clamps the panels. So you'd have a panel this side and a panel that side of this clamp, and that clamps down on there like that, and it holds it extremely well. And the only thing with this fasten sol system, I really like the brackets. I like the rails because they're all black, so they look nice with the all black panels. The only thing I'm not keen on, and this is just from a workmanship point of view, is if you press too hard on this, it just drops into the rail. You've got to, I mean, we've got the knack now, like, it took a while, but we've got the knack. But sometimes, if you don't, you've got to really drive these in steady. Because if you overdrive them and that little black bit hits that, it just all buckles inside. So they can be a bit fiddly. But apart from that, I like the fasten sol system. We used to install Clenergy, but Clenergy lost their MCS for a little bit of a time, and we're not quite sure why, but it caused us a bit of chew. So yeah, fasten sol all the way for us now. So that's a little bit of introduction into the rails, and it's just started to rain. Blooming heck. Yeah. Oh, they need the rail. Demonstration over. Here you go. So Chris and Luke are busy working away in the garage doing the AC side of things, the inverter and the batteries and all the isolators that come with that. And while they're doing that, as you can see, the lads are doing great on the roof here. They've already installed all the rails and they've just took 12 panels up and they're going to start putting them down. So let's go up on the roof and we'll have a look. We'll see how they put the panels on. Okay, so it's 12:30 and as you can see, there's 12 panels already on. Leo's already starting on the bird mesh at the top there, and the lads are bringing up the rest of the panels now. We've just fired up the inverter, so we're going to connect up the batteries, and I'm going to actually get that commissioned. I'm going to start the commissioning because there'll be like a firmware update that we need to do, so we might as well get that going. So it's going brill. I'm really pleased so far, and I think the panels look absolutely beautiful on this roof. So he's going to have 22 panels south facing. He's going to have some great generation with the 8 kilowatt inverter, and he's got about 8.6 kilowatt hour of battery as well. So you're going to see some fantastic results with all this system. And like I say, it's a fantastic battery system that you can easily add to down the line. So as with most customers, they'll start with a conservative amount of battery storage, and usually I get a call after 6 months or so asking us to go back and put some more in. So, and I advise that actually. I think that's a good way to go, because everyone has a budget in mind, and the batteries are generally the expensive part of the system. So it's got to work out, you know, it's got to be justifiable to how much battery storage you actually go for. And I think the best way to know that is just go conservative and then check your results, keep on top of your data, and check, you know, how your system's performing, and then you can easily do your calculations to work out whether adding more battery storage is going to work out worthwhile. So yeah, so it's going really well. They'll have the rest of the panels on, I think, within the next sort of hour easily. I'll have a spot of lunch and come back later. So as you can see behind me, the lads have finished the roof now, and it's only 5 to 2. So they've done absolutely brilliant. It's been a great roof to work on. The tiles were great, nice robust tiles, not had a single crack, and they've sat down beautifully as well. So it's really gone well today. It doesn't always go that well, trust me. So we've been quite lucky, and the weather has held as well. It's supposed to rain all day and it's been nice weather. So we've got all 22 panels on. That's 22 times 430 watts, and I'm no Carol Vorderman, so I've done that on the calculator. That's 9.46 kilowatts, which is a decent amount. I mean, my array at home is half the size of that, and I do really well out of mine. So he's going to see some fantastic generation off these panels. So all we've got to do now, the lads are in the loft just dressing the cables from solar panels to junction box, and they're going to MC4 them, and then we're going to just finish off getting the system up and running. So now I'm going to go into the garage and finish off with the system, because it's now connected to the internet, and all we've got to do now is commission it, and then we'll get the Fox service centre to update the firmware on the batteries and inverters, and then as soon as the strings are in, we can test those and finish our testing, and we're all done. So it's been great. As you can see, Leo's nearly finished the bird mesh. He is the bird mesh king. As they were finishing off the panels that way, he was already up behind them, hurrying them along. So he's literally just doing the very last bit now. So that's brilliant. I'm really pleased how it's gone today. So yeah, follow me in the garage and we'll have a look at finishing off commissioning the system. So while we're waiting for the guys to finish in the loft connecting the strings together, you can see here we've just got our strings. We're going to connect them in once they're done. Be able to put a test on them, make sure we're getting the voltage there that we're expecting, and we can get them connected into the inverter. But at the moment I've rang Fox and the service centre. They are updating the firmware on the inverter and the batteries for me, so that we're not waiting to do that at the end. So yeah, these batteries, I absolutely love these batteries. The Fox Cube system. These, you can get them in different module sizes, either 2.9, 4.1 or 4.3 kilowatt hour. And these ones are the 4.3 modules. The top module is bigger than the bottom module because the top one is also the battery management system. So that's why that one's bigger. And the great thing about these is if you need to add more, all you do is you lift this top module off, the battery management system, you put another module on, and it just sits on and it plugs in to the one below. There's no cables or anything like that, it just sits on and plugs itself in. And then you put the battery management system back on. So as you can see, we've left some room there to add at least, well, you could add 3 or 4 modules, but this customer's not going to need that many. If he even needs any more, he might just need one more. But the great thing about these is they're so space conscious, you know, space saving. I mean, look, it's only about 600 wide, about 40 mil deep, and altogether there, we're at about 40 mil in height, and they look nice as well. So these are my favourite batteries at the moment, to be honest with you. And anybody in the industry at the moment will be aware that the regulations around where you can install batteries has changed dramatically in the last few weeks. Just overnight, all of a sudden, it was decided that you cannot put batteries in lofts, and there's a lot of other regulations as well around it. So what we've done is we've put them in the garage here, but we're also going to install some integrated smoke alarms, which is also a regulation now, in a room that's not frequently visited, which obviously a garage is as well. So we're going to put a smoke alarm just above here, and then we'll put one in the house as well, so that if there was ever an issue with the equipment in here, and there was a fire, then you would be notified of it inside, because it could happen, couldn't it? I mean, I don't think there's been a case yet, but say if there was, then you know the customer might be asleep at night, and with the interlinked smoke alarms, they'll be notified of a fire early doors. So that's what we're after. So hopefully the firmware is nearly updated now, and we'll be able to get these strings in. I think the lads are down, so they must have finished. So we'll test these, test the voltage, and get the strings connected. So that's it, we've finished. We've got 22 all black, 430 watt Jinko Tiger, beautiful solar panels along this south facing roof. this customer is going to enjoy some fantastic generation in the coming weeks. All we just need is the old current button to come out and stay out. That would be nice. But we've been lucky today. The rain stayed off. It's been a great day. Honestly, it's flowing. I'm really pleased. The team have done brilliant yet again. Alps Electrical. If anybody's interested in solar panels installation in the northeast, please contact Alps Electrical for a free no obligation proposal. And if you've enjoyed our installation videos, we've got many more on our YouTube channel, so please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.